Hey everyone. So today is Friday, May 12th. It is 6:21 p.m. and this is the latter half of week 19 of my competition prep. So I'm about 17 weeks out from my first competition, which is on September 9th. This past week has gone very well. Nothing terribly eventful has happened, and that's probably a good thing with a competition prep. Energy levels still really high, which is good because I've been super busy with work. So I've needed to be very productive. So having high energy levels for that has been really important. That's a really nice feeling, being 19 weeks into a prep and still having good energy levels, especially mental ones. Aside from that, my motivation levels are actually growing. To be honest, I've been motivated this whole time. Like, this is something that that's really important to me and something that I'm always motivated to do, but motivation levels are just getting higher and higher. And I think part of that is because I'm getting closer and closer to competition day. So I mean, 17, where am I? I'm about 17 weeks out. It's far, but it's not that far. So just added excitement there. And also too, I'm noticing more and more profound changes to my physique. Like, it really looks like I'm prepping now, and I'm starting to get to the point where like things are going to start to look really cool. And that's very motivating for me as well too, getting to really get close to what my potential is right now. It's a very motivating feeling. So I'm looking forward to everything that's coming. I think the biggest change that we're making this week is I'm actually increasing my calories a little bit, funny enough. So it's kind of crazy. I'm eating 4 low days, so about 2,300 calories on those low days and 3 high days. And up to this point, those 3 high days have been about 2,700 calories. We're increasing those to 2,900 calories, so bumping them each up by 200 calories, and we're just doing so by increasing carbohydrate intake. And the intention there is just to keep training performance high, energy levels as high as they can be, and to keep us from needlessly kind of losing energy, especially when we're 17 weeks out from competition number 1, so we still got some time. So there's not really any need to like really go aggressive or anything like that. So we are making this change with the intention of keeping my energy levels as high as they can be right now. So yeah, I definitely can't complain about that. 200 more calories per day. It's just added carbohydrates. So yeah, we'll see how that works. We'll see, as long as there's still continued fat loss, progressing. It's going to mainly progress through my low days. Then we probably will run these parameters for as long as we can, more or less, and see how that goes. So hey, again, I can't complain about the extra calories, and that actually leaves me feeling really comfortable too, because one thing I know I've done in the past is I have dieted too aggressively too early, and I did that the last time I prepped, and that left me feeling like absolute poop by the time I was just like 12 weeks out, like just really struggling for a long time, just because I think I dieted too hard. In hindsight, I got lean too early, and then I wasn't maintaining properly. I think I lost a good amount of muscle, and it made the process harder than it needed to be, and I probably looked worse because of that too. And this time I feel a little bit more comfortable, and just that we seem to be pacing things a lot better than I ever have before. So I'm left feeling like, hey, my energy levels are pretty good, my training is going well, and now we're making another adjustment to make sure that we continue along that same line. So yeah, I'm feeling really confident about things, and I'm very excited about the end product too. But yeah, that's the biggest change. So yay me, I get to eat some more calories and see how that goes. The physique is looking pretty cool too. I'm noticing some pretty cool changes. My low this week was 186. So I think I dropped about 1.4 pounds. That's one of the reasons why we're probably increasing the calories a little bit too, there is just to make sure that I'm not dropping a little bit too fast. Again, I'm 17 weeks out. I don't need to get stage ready in the next 6 weeks. Like I got 17 weeks, so I can afford to slow down that process a bit, maintain energy, maintain muscle, hold on to as much muscle as I can, and get a better end product. But yeah, so 186, that was my low this week. I'm aiming for about 175. So a little bit more than 11 pounds to go over 17 weeks. So we should be able to do it, I think. Um, but yeah, without further ado, though, I'm going to go ahead and switch over to some training footage and we'll go through that together. I'll walk you through my workouts. See you there. Okay, so we are in week 19 of prep. We're pretty deep in it now. And with that, my energy levels are still pretty high. So, especially from a mental standpoint, my mental alertness and clarity is all there. I don't feel really any mental grogginess, which is really helpful, especially because work has been so busy. So, I need to be very productive, and having a lot of that kind of mental energy and alertness is great. From a physical standpoint, overall energy is very good. There are times where it's starting to taper. So when I get to the latter half of my workouts, I do feel a little bit more tired than usual, I think, but it's all very manageable. I'd say it's pretty minor. I also notice I get tired, like I'm walking slower when Rachel and I go out for walks in the day or in the evenings. Sometimes I feel like she has to kind of drag me along. She wants to walk faster than me, so I'm just like trying to keep up because I know that things are starting to slow down a little bit. But again, right now it feels pretty minor. As I get deeper, that lowered energy will start to become more of a profound feeling. But I would say that here at week 19, where I'm at right now, I'm very grateful that my energy is as high as it is, and my training performance is going as well as it is. It's tough. It's like, it's tough right now for sure, but it's like the reps are still there, the progress is still there, and I'm still enjoying it at the end of the day. Sometimes, like I've noted from my own past preps, and like hearing from other natural bodybuilders too, like I think universally, and this isn't for everyone, but for many of us, like there gets to be a point in prep where training gets to be a little bit less fun, maybe even less fulfilling, just because it gets so hard. Um, that just comes with the territory of being lean, and kind of there being this necessity to still try to train as hard as it is appropriately possible, because that's what's really encouraging your muscle bellies to stick around when you get leaner and leaner. And that's really hard. It's really hard when you get so lean that moving around gets difficult, and then you got to try to lift heavy stuff at the gym. It gets tough. And that has definitely happened to me in every other prep. And I think it happens to most prep athletes at some point. But it certainly has not happened to me yet, not even close. Like, I'm still enjoying all of my workouts. I'm still really motivated when I'm there. Like, I'm excited to lift when it's lifting time in the day. It's like I get excited. I get excited to go do something that I really enjoy. And I get a little bit sad when it's time to leave. But, it's like a it's a bittersweet sad. So it's like I'm sad because it's done, but it's a sweet feeling because it's like, yeah, it's a great fulfilling feeling. Plus physiologically, I physically feel good when I finished a workout. So, but anyways, I'm still really enjoying the workouts. I feel very motivated in the workouts as well too. It also gets more fun for me, and like I'm wearing more sleeveless shirts now. And a reason for that is I've kind of changed my thinking from past preps. So in past preps, like my last one, for example, I think I wore a sweater every single day to the gym. As I got leaner and leaner, I wore a sweater and like sweatpants, so I could never see my physique changing. And part of that mentality was I just wanted to kind of keep my end product covered up and like not get distracted by seeing myself in the mirror, and just focus on the lifting, which I think is good because at the end of the day, I just want to go to the gym and focus on the lifting. But my mindset's a little bit different this time around because it's like, I'm spending all of this time and energy on this prep. Like I actually want to kind of enjoy my physique and watch it change, and be able to see my muscle more than any other time of the year because I'm losing all the body fat, and I want to enjoy it more this time around. And like honestly, I am. It's kind of cool to look in the mirror and especially week to week be like, yeah, I'm starting to see like deeper lines in my quads this week than last week. And yeah, like I'm starting to see like some shoulder striations that I didn't see the week before. And that makes training more fun too. Like again, like we all, like many of us will have our preferences when we're training. So I'm just kind of trying this out this year, but I'm liking it so far, and it's making it maybe a little bit more fulfilling for me. I love the overhead tricep extensions, by the way, and a part of the reason is because I get such a deep stretch feeling overhead in my triceps, and I believe that's the long head of my triceps that I can really feel it. And you know, it's funny. I've been doing these for years because I love the feeling of them so much, and they've come up with a bunch of research, kind of showing how stimulative the elongated portion, the maximal, when your muscles are maximally elongated under load, like how stimulative that is for muscle growth. And I've been doing those, and I attribute that to like a good amount of tricep growth, is because I just have loved the feeling of it for years and years. So I'm glad I've kind of been doing that. Tuesday, it's our rest day, so not training on Tuesdays. We usually go for walks. We get in. Part of it is to fill the void of when we would usually be going to the gym, but also because we love going for walks. The area we live in is really, really beautiful, so it's a good way to kind of take a little bit of a break in the middle of the workday, and then after we'll usually go for another walk too. So yeah, it's a beautiful area. Here are some Bulgarian split squats from the deficit. I love this setup. It's the best setup I've ever found for these deficit split squats before. I'm gonna always do it. Man, nothing beats these. Honestly, they're very, very tough, but you know, they're just so effective. It's funny kind of watching myself do this. I look at my back foot. It looks like it's like, I don't know, like all mangled and weird, but it feels fine. It's perfectly stable. That's the way that I set up, and it feels great. These are my cable rows, and I actually started doing these instead of my bent over rows. Couple reasons for that. So bent over rows, I started to feel kind of lightheaded from doing them. I just didn't want to feel lightheaded when I get up too fast, or when I'm getting up between sets. Otherwise, I'd probably be doing them, and that's probably because I'm getting a little bit leaner, and that's just the way my physiology is changing. So I'm doing these ones instead, and I'm really liking them too. I'm kind of rounding my upper back a little bit and emphasizing again the part of the rep where my muscles are the most elongated, stretched out, and holding it there for a second or a couple seconds even. Just because again, like they're coming up with all this new research that's showing how beneficial that part of each rep is. So we're kind of emphasizing it a little bit. It's a great feeling too. That stretch feeling, lots of tension in the muscles that I want to be feeling it. So there you go. Here are some chest flies. I really, really like this machine. I think it's something to do with the resistance curve. I don't know the exact physics of it, but it feels like it's almost like the top half of the rep is the hardest part of the rep. It's not like that for every machine, but I'm really enjoying it. I get a great feeling after I finish my last rep. I put it down, and then all of a sudden it's just like a glunk kind of a feeling across the chest. So I really like it. It's a really good setup for me. Yeah, I think that we're definitely that's one thing. I think that the exercise selection is very, very good here. And I'm just going to go ahead and turn the audio off. I think that my exercise selection in this prep is probably the best it's ever been in any prep before too. So every exercise that I'm doing, it feels right for me. Like I can feel it in my muscle bellies the way that I want to be feeling it. I can move with a full range of motion without any unnecessary like feelings of going against the grain in any point. No upcoming nagging injuries. I'm not working through any kind of pain or injury. Like my exercise selection feels very complementary, where it's like I can just feel the muscle bellies and not like joints and bones and any kind of inflammation. So really happy about that. I think that's going to lead me to a better end product too. Here we are, another walk. I think this is on Thursday. Beautiful area. Walking on the boardwalk, down City Park here. It's been really hot well, it's getting hot again. Last week was very hot, and I think this week it's going to get really hot again. But yeah, we're enjoying the walks. And then this is actually from my training session this morning. It was a killer training session. Starting off with lying leg curls. I just started beginning my workouts with the leg curls a couple of probably 6 or 7 weeks ago. And what I would usually do is start with my leg press first, but I started doing these first because it kind of loosens up. I found that it kind of loosens up my adductors in particular. So usually I go into my training sessions, or oftentimes with my adductors, so my inner thigh muscles being a little bit tight, and this kind of helps me loosen up. And like I'm training I can train my hamstrings hard right away in doing so, which is awesome. And then I can take my nice loosened hamstrings and I can go and do a super deep leg press, which is what we're doing here. So I don't love going into a leg press when my adductors feel like a little bit tight or sore. If I do, I'll just warm up for a little bit longer, but I like doing the leg curls first because after the leg curls, they don't really have that tight, extra sore feeling anymore. Usually they're sore still from my Bulgarian split squats. That's why. But yeah, so leg curls first, loosen up a little bit. Then I do my super deep leg presses. This was from today's workout, and I went into the set and I didn't know if I would be able to hit the number of reps I was aiming for, and I did. And it was very, very hard. But with that comes that feeling of fulfillment that you get at the end of a set. I felt great afterwards. I was just really proud of myself, more or less. One of the cool parts about looking back at these videos here is seeing the visual progress when I'm doing my reps compared to like 2 or 3 or 4 months ago. So like I've got progress photos where like they're static photos I'm posing, and then comparing like my progress, so like progress photos. And then also, but it's cool to be able to see your progress and how the body changes, how my body has been changing through looking at these videos. So like if I were to compare looking at my leg press here versus the leg press I posted in my first several weeks worth of contest prep vlogs, like there's a pretty big difference. So I'm really starting to see like the separation between my quads and my hamstrings now when I'm doing the leg press, which is really cool. It's another one of those motivating feelings where I can actually see progress in the mirror and also in these videos that we're looking back on. So something worth noting here too is I actually went into this prep with a nagging injury, and that nagging injury was my elbow. Funny enough, that nagging injury is like, I'm not going to say it's completely gone, but it's 98% gone. Like I have no pain when I train doing any exercise. And I can actually do the exercise that I think was the culprit for injuring it in the first place, which was like a supinated underhand pull-up. So I'm not going to start doing the supinated pull-ups again, but I am going to probably start doing the wider grip, slightly wider grip, overhand pull-ups. I love pull-ups, and I'm already doing 2 variations of cable pull-down, so I'll probably change one of the cable pull-downs, the bilateral one, with some pull-ups. It's just one of my favorite lat exercises, and it makes me really excited to do them. And if I am at a place where I'm healed enough to do them without any load, slow reps, controlled reps, and I'm still injury free after 1 or 2 or 3 sets, then I'm going to keep trying to progress with them. Last but not least, the Viking press here, one of my new favorite overhead presses of all time. That all being said, this pretty much concludes the video. I want to thank you all for watching and tagging along on my prep journey. We got one more exercise here. But again, thank you so much for being here. Go ahead and watch you can watch my earlier bodybuilding vlogging videos as well. You're totally invited to do that. That all being said, again, thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.